Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Balancing Healthy. Today's episode, as you guys are listening to this, if you are listening to this when it goes live on the 5th of Feb, tomorrow's my birthday. Tomorrow's my birthday, which is like, yay, let's have a party. I love my birthday. I love celebrating. I just love being like, hi, it's me. I'm getting older. But I'm turning 29. And that means I'm 1 year closer to 30. And it means I'm entering my last year of my 20s. And that just feels kind of wrong because I feel like I'm still 24. Like genuinely when people ask me how old are you, I do a double take and I'm like I have to think about it. And I'm like, why is that? Is it because mentally, am I still 24? I don't know. I feel pretty mature, but also like I want to have more fun. Like I like to have fun. So today's episode, people also tell me I look 24 as well. So if you think I look 24, then like, thank you. Or just like if I look younger than I am, I get it a lot. I did have someone recently who thought I was already 30, so that's kind of sad. But most people think I'm quite young, so that's fantastic. But this episode is literally just going to be like a bit of a brain dump. You know, I was going to do like 29 lessons that I learned in 29 years, but that's kind of boring. I just don't know if there's going to be much quote unquote value in this episode, but also you might find some value. You might just find some fucking peace in the fact that someone else feels the same as you, right? Because I know I'm having all these mixed feelings about nearly being 30. I'm obviously 29 tomorrow, but like all these mixed feelings of I don't know how I should be feeling. Do you know what I mean? And like there's a lot going through this brain of mine. So I thought let's just kind of like talk about it because I think it's not something to be scared of being 30 and being in my last year of my 20s, but I think it's just the three. Like to start us off real like superficial, I think it's the three. The 3 on the 30 scares me because it's like I'm entering the next decade, right? That's scary, but also it means my partner and I will be in separate decades. Is that what you're saying? Separate decades? I don't know if that's the right word, but he is 3 years younger than me. So it's like we've got 3 years of not being in the same, right? That's kind of scary. And also the fact that like when I was younger, I thought 30 was old. I was like, oh my God, 30, that's so old. That's crazy. Like can't imagine ever being 30. And like now it's around the corner. So that is also crazy. There's just a lot of craziness. Also the fact that like when I grew up, like when I was a little girl, I wanted to be a young mom. I wanted to be married young. Like I thought by 29, I would have my entire life figured out. I thought by 24, I'd have my entire life figured out and I'd be doing all the things. And what you're about to hear in this episode, it's actually fucking hilarious of what has turned out and my thoughts and feelings and beliefs and stuff. So like, anyway, I'm just going to have a little bit of a brain dump, a little bit of a vent. But I also would love if anything that comes up in this episode that I talk about, I do have a lot of notes, but I don't know if it's going to go far. If anything comes up that you want to talk about, like, feel free to send me a DM because, like, I'm quietly freaking out on my own. So, like, help a girl out. I've spoken to clients. I've spoken to many people that are like, oh, my God, no. But, like, when you hit your 30s, like, it's just, like, the best thing ever. And, like, I even had someone yesterday, she said, you know, you'll just feel like you just don't give a fuck about anyone. Like, what people have to say, I mean, like, opinions and this and that. And I was like, I already feel like I kind of don't. And she's like, oh, well, you said that. And I was like, oh, so, like, I'm just kind of feel the same. I don't really know. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of see like if it's true when everyone says like, you know, like your 20s are really finding yourself. And I remember one of the first books I read when I got into reading a couple of years ago was a self-development one. It was like the something decade. It was to do with like navigating life in your 20s. And it was just like reading this book was like reading my life. And I was like, whoa, this is so crazy. And then like anytime I hear someone say something about their 20s, I'm like, that is so like literally it, isn't it? And I feel like I'm going to become one of those people. I'm going to be so like, oh, I'm so the wiser because I'm in my 30s and try and give other 20-year-olds their advice. And I'm like, it's just, I'm excited to see like how much feels real in a sense of like, whoa, I was actually navigating all this stuff. And then you hit 30 and you're like, wow, now the fun has started. Because I already feel like I'm having the fun. If you've listened to my 2026 vision board episode, I think it was 3 episodes ago, I talked to like how I really want this year to feel, how I want it to be, and the vision for it, obviously. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun, a lot of like joy in it. So like, I'm really, really excited for this last year in my 20s. But equally kind of petrified. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do for my 30s. I don't even know what I'm going to do for my birthday I say this weekend. When you're listening this weekend, I'll already obviously have the plans when you're listening. But yeah, currently I have no idea at the time of recording. I think the biggest things for me, I'm just thinking which way I don't want to go first. I might go into there's two kind of things that I feel like, I don't know how to say this, and I don't want to get too deep with it because I want it to be very lighthearted, but there's two things that I feel like I quote unquote should have done or should be at a certain point in my life that I'm just not, and I was getting a lot of anxiety around it. Like, you know, I'm not there, I'm nowhere near there, but then I've just like deep down gone, I just don't think it's what I want. And it's okay, but it's really hard for me to feel like it's okay in a world where everyone's buying houses and everyone's getting married and everyone's having kids. I just don't think I want any of those. And I don't know if it's from a point of I just don't want to grow up, because like truthfully, I fucking don't. But it's just not my first thought. It's not what I wake up going, I can't wait to do this. Like truthfully, I don't want to do it. I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want to have to think about all the finances behind it, the paperwork, the logistics. I don't want to have to think about any of it. I don't want to have to look after another life. That is so not what I'm wanting right now. It's so not what I see in my near future. I actually had a friend ask a couple of months ago, hadn't seen her in a while, and she said like, you know, when are you guys going to get married? And I was like, no, I just don't think it's for us. Like, it's just not on the forefront of our minds and our hearts and anything like that. And yeah, so like for the house thing, yeah, I'd love to have one day. That would be great. And I keep thinking I have to have it by the time I'm 30 or by the time I'm whatever age, so then I can, you know, then get married and then have the kids. And I'm like, but I just don't fucking want it yet. Like, there's a time and a place and I'll get one day, I'm sure, but I don't want it now. Like currently I want to travel and I want to have more fun and I want to have more joy and I want to have more peace in my life, and I just want to simply exist. I'm like, if I have struggled, again, if you've listened to those recent episodes of the podcast where I was just kind of struggling with 2025 and then setting the intention for 2026, it's like I'm trying to find more peace and balance and joy between like business and life, and not wrapping myself up in my business. And I also don't want to wrap myself up in like that a house is my identity. Like I'm really wanting to find me and who is Sarah, like behind, you know, Sarah, not the podcast host, not the PT, not the business owner. Like, who is Sarah? What does she do? What does she love? And I'm really trying to harness that this year and not think about like Sarah has to have hit a milestone and Sarah has to have done a certain thing, because truthfully, the milestones I'm hitting, the things that I think are incredible and the things that I want to be doing in terms of like business and life and stuff, so different to like my friends and my family and everything. Like I am living a completely different lifestyle / like vision to those that are closest to me, and that's okay because that's their thing and then this is my thing. But it's just really hard when I'm in those scenarios with those people. It's really hard for me to feel like I have my own opinions. It feels like I have to defend myself a little bit almost, because I'm like, I don't want the same things. And not that anyone's being like, Sarah, you should want this, but it's just like in my own internal, you know, in my head and like my own internal voice, I'm like, I feel like I need to explain why I want certain things when I literally don't need to. Like, no one has literally ever cared. Like, they're like, that's what you want, that's great. You know what I mean? So, but it's just like, if anyone feels like they need someone to talk to about these things, if they have the same feelings, then frickin' come and talk to me, because it's nice to have a friend that feels this way, you know? And the whole marriage and kids thing again. I just want some peace. I just want to feel grounded. I want to feel content for as long as I possibly can. I don't want to feel like, not that it would be being dragged down, but I don't want to feel like that's a whole fucking commitment in the terms of like, I can be with my partner without being married. I don't care. That's fine. That's its own commitment. But like in terms of having the kids, that's a big commitment. Like that is like you're choosing to have X amount of years where you have to solely put your energy into this other person. And yes, you can put into yourself, but not as much as you could if you didn't have a kid, if you know what I mean. And there's people that, you know, I follow that, you know, that I'm like friends with, that I follow on socials. Like there's been a lot of pregnancies lately, a lot of announcements and such, and like they're so excited. And that's when I go, yeah, I really don't want it because I'm not excited. It's hard for me to be, and this sounds so bad, but it's hard for me to be excited for someone. I mean, I don't know them, but hard for me to be excited for someone I don't know because I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I don't really want it, if that makes sense. Like I'm happy, absolutely happy for them, but like I don't feel that, I don't share that level of excitement, if that makes sense. It probably sounds so bitchy, but again, you could be like me and you could be like, no, Sarah, I totally get it. And you know what, if you are, message me because I would love that. But again, it's also that thing of like, I feel like I said earlier, when I was a young girl and I thought I'd be married and have kids by 24, and like everyone like on my Facebook, you know, people that you know in person is getting married and popping out babies, and I was like, whoa, like again, questioning, this was years ago, like questioning like, oh, like am I there, like do I want that? And then I'm like, this like, and like these people that I've been seeing now, they're, you know, getting divorces, and like there's just like, just because someone got married young or had the babies young doesn't mean that it's all gonna work out. Do you know what I mean? Like in my head, I was like, when I was younger, I was like, oh my God, if they've done this, then, you know, they're so much further ahead of me. But I'm like, but also now it's like, this is how it's turning out. And like, I'm much happier. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, you probably don't know what I mean, but that's just my thoughts on houses and marriage and kids. And I'm just really unsure. And it's fine currently, but my only fear is that like, I don't want to get like to 35 and regret it because I didn't feel it now. And I think that's my main concern. Like, I don't want to get there and regret it and then be like, I should have cared like 6 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, that is my current thoughts. But I'm just thinking in terms of like, what am I wanting to let go of this year, which is kind of like what I want to talk about in this episode, even though I'm nearly at the end of my notes, so it's clearly not going to be a long episode. But what am I wanting to let go of this year? What am I more excited for this year? I think, like I said, I've done my 2026 intentions, my visions. I'm excited to experience more, to share in more joy, to have more fun. You know, I spoke to like stepping back a bit from calories and macros, just like not so intently. So like still sitting at like a maintenance, but like I can also eat perfectly fine without it. I might still track my protein only because like I do want to build as much muscle as possible. So like protein is very important for that. I know how much fruit and veg to be eating. I know like that kind of thing. It's just like protein needs to be quite good. I'm 82 kilos, so I need to be like, there's a certain amount of protein I need to be having, which is just like the mediocre is easy to get, but to actually hit a high, good amount of protein, like it's hard to get. So I like to track that. But apart from that, stepping away from everything and just like eating more, like not intuitively, but a bit more for really, just not stressing so much about it, you know, like obviously last year I did a lot of deficits. So even things of like when my partner would cook dinner, like I very easily, if you do want something valuable from the episode, I can tell you how I track when my partner cooks. I know what he's cooking. We do the shopping together, but half the time I might do it on my own, and I'll ask him what he's cooking, and I know what the ingredients are, and I'll go and scan them into my MyFitnessPal, create the recipe, say it serves 4. If it ends up serving more, great, change the serving amounts. If it ends up feeding less, great, change the serving amounts. And that's how I log it. I just log, add to diary, done. Like it's really not that complicated. Like I'm not standing there like weighing things as he's cooking it. It's just what it is. Sorry, I just glitched a bit there. But anyway, so letting go a bit of that, just like allowing things to be more free. Like obviously when he cooks me and stuff like that, like even like last week, I think it was Tuesday night because I was working. I didn't get home till like 9 and I hadn't eaten since lunch at like, I want to say 2. So I was ravenous, right? And I get home and he's made tacos, like soft tacos, and there's always 10 wraps there, right? And there's 2 of us. I would usually have 3 because 3 fits fine in my deficit. But this girl was ravenous. So I had 4. And I'm like, who cares? I had 4. I haven't eaten in fucking hours. I'm starving. Like, I didn't feel shit afterwards. I was like, I feel good. I feel full. I feel fantastic. And there was no sense of like, I should have only had 3 because of my deficit, or I should have only had this because of this. Because yes, a deficit, there are sacrifices that do have to be made, but that maintenance phase is more like a bit more chill. And like we cook good food anyway. So it's just about like not tracking it. It's like eating good, fueling my body, but it's not doing the numbers with it, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm excited for this year. Again, even like training, I'm doing my 3 sessions a week, but then I want to add some other things in there, whether it's go for a run, go for a swim, like, you know, maybe my partner and I go like randomly to tennis courts and do some tennis. We've done that a few times. It's really fun. Just like doing like lots of like adding in more fun things to us. It's not just a strict like, I train 3 times a week and I do this and I do that. So that way I know my body is good and primed. So I'm still, again, training hard. I know how to train hard. I will still track my weights when I'm at the gym. I'm still going to push myself at the gym and push for those PBs. But it's that thing of like training hard and knowing that I'm eating enough protein. I can still work to being a fucking baddie, being a hot bitch when I turn 30, but having that more grounded peace presence with everything as well. So like I said, allowing myself to have more joy, allowing more experiences. It's only currently the 22nd of Jan, the day I'm recording this. And I've done 2 trips. I did 2 trips in the last week. I've got another one this weekend. I potentially do want to do another one for my birthday. I just don't know if it's going to happen because I need to calm down a little bit. Because then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trips and a few other events on over March and April. So there's a lot going on. And then I've got a trip in November. Like there's things happening this year that I'm very fucking excited for. And it feels really good to, like I said, like earlier on in the episode, I said I want to feel more of like, who is Sarah? What does she enjoy? What does she do? Rather than just she's the business owner. She's, you know, Coach by Says. She's Balancing Healthy podcast host. She's this, she's that. Like more of me. And I think it's really cool that I've got these things coming up that are all so exciting, so much fun, like so much joy and happiness, like for other people and doing things with my family, my friends and stuff. And like, you can see it on my face if you're watching, you can see the smile. But equally like still progressing towards, you know, business goals, podcast goals, like doing things for my clients, like doing things for my community, and like being able to have it all and still find who I am. And that's what I'm really, really excited for this year. I don't know if it's just me. The people that I consume. So I've consumed the same creators, the same kind of like, I have a particular like vibe that I love to like, if someone fits that vibe, I love to watch their stuff. And I don't know if it's just like that, not group, because they're not like one group, but like that group of people that I consume, or if it's like a wider population. But I'm like, it just feels like a good fucking year to just like hit your goals without the overwhelm and without the pressure. And if I can do it this year, which I have full fucking belief that I can, I just know I'm gonna hit my 30s feeling fantastic, just feeling like the fucking hottest, baddest, groundest chick there is. And I'm so excited for that. I actually said that to my partner the other day. I was like, I just want to be like the hottest 30-year-old you've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, 30 is not that old. I probably see 30-year-old people all the time, but I'm like, I just want to be the hottest 30-year-old. Like I want to be like, wow, this is me at 30. Because also truthfully, there's people that, you know, I know I can see when someone's not looking after themselves. You know, when like you don't look after yourself and like you look that bit older, like my mum, bless her, if she's listening. Hi mum. But like mum, you know, used to be very overweight, all the things. She looked older than she does now. And that was like I don't know how many years ago. I was like 15 years ago, and now she's 60. And like, she doesn't fucking look 60. She looks so much younger. Even clients that I train, like PT clients, some of them will be like, did you forget that I'm 60? I'm like, truthfully, I did, because you don't look it, because you look after yourself so well. Like, they're strong, they're fit, they're healthy, they eat well, they still have joy, they still have fun, they still have nights out. Like, it's still like they're just living their best. And I'm like, that is it. That is what I want. And if I can enter my 30s feeling that way, then I'm so excited. And I'm already implementing it. So I've got a whole year and I'm excited. And yeah, I don't have any plans for my 30th. If anyone happens to listen to this near the 6th of Feb, 2027. It's crazy. Let me know what you did for your 30th, and I might have to put some plans in place. I'm like, do I go on a trip? Do I host a party? Like, what's the kind of vibe? I don't really know. We'll see. We'll see how we go this year. I'm getting way too ahead of myself because I'm only about to turn 29. But I feel like 29 doesn't matter. I feel like I'm going from 28 to 30. So anyway, I might start telling people I'm 30 and see what happens. I don't have any more notes, which is crazy. That is so chill. This episode has been so rogue. But like I said at the start, I wanted it to be more of a, here's my thoughts, here's my feelings, here's my opinions on certain things. I'm turning 29 tomorrow and I just have had a lot of thoughts and feelings I have to get out. I just know there'll be someone listening to this, or maybe a couple of you listening, that are like, girl, I am feeling that way too. And I would love you to message me, because otherwise I'm just talking to no one and then I'm stressed and look like a fool. Nah, happy as Larry that I get it out. I'm one of those people that like, I just like to get it all out, and then I'm like, cool. Now probably like tomorrow, I probably won't even care about turning 30. I'll be like, cool, it's just another blip in the road. Like, you know what I mean? So anyway, there's a couple of things I do want to do by 30 business-wise, but that's not something I'm going to share on the podcast, because I just don't need to. It literally just came into my head as I was talking about something else. And if that's not ADHD, I don't know what it is. So anyway, I'm going to go. I'm going to love you and leave you guys, because I've been talking for 23 minutes nearly. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, watching, however you're consuming the podcast. As always, if you have any topic requests, guest requests, I have a few people in mind I want to get on. I need to reach out to them, get it sorted. I've got some clients I want to get on the podcast. But yeah, if there's anything that you want to know or you want to chat about or anything like that, please send me a message on Instagram or comment on the podcast. It's easier on Instagram, even TikTok if that's your thing. I'm still learning TikTok. That makes me feel kind of old saying that. Anyway, I just didn't want to do TikTok because I was like, it's going to distract me, but truthfully, Instagram distracts me more. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, but thank you so much for listening, tuning in, watching, whatever you're doing, however you're consuming the podcast. I will speak to you guys in next week's episode when I'm 29. Bye.